Good morning, YouTube universe. Hopefully some people will see me pop up randomly and come join the stream. My hair is not done. I am not a morning person. So clearly I'm just starting my day right now. It's like 9:30 here for those of you that are outside the US or outside the East Coast. I'm a late riser and I'm just kind of sleepy and groggy, but my mornings are kind of lonely. And so I figured I'll just get on YouTube and talk to random people on the internet so I don't feel so alone. How about that? And Alex, thanks for I think we just had a misunderstanding the other day. I think we're good now, but thank you. Hello, Anna. Oh, I'm so sleepy. I'm still having my coffee. Do you guys know Casey Durango from Go Keto with Casey? She does a ton on YouTube. She has a very active Patreon community and stuff, CaseyDurango.com. She has merch, so I bought one of her mugs. I can and I will see Go Keto with Casey. She's that's one of her big slogans. She has a lot of like very famous slogans within her fans, and I can and I will is one of them. Well, I don't have any agenda. I just figured I would come on and be less isolated. So if you have questions or comments or, constructive comments, please feel free to put it in the chat. I'll be looking at the chat. Good morning, everybody. Eastern North Carolina, so probably not too far from where I am here in Durham. Good morning from Nebraska. Hopefully some people from overseas will find me, because I know that I have some followers and fans and stuff in Europe and Asia, and I just know, like, if I come on in the evening, they're sleeping, and so they rarely get to catch me doing a live. So yeah, hopefully people will pop in. Somebody has a question. The C-peptide is a little low. No, that's fine. As long as you know for certain there's no chance of you having type 1 diabetes, I think most people on a ketogenic or low carb diet do have insulin and probably sometimes C-peptide in the very, very low end of the normal range, or possibly even slightly outside the low end of normal. And I think it's fine as long as you're healthy and you feel well and you know that there's not really any possibility that you're headed toward a type 1 diabetes situation. I think that's fine. But of course, not giving medical advice. Can't forget to say that part. Oh, Morehead City. I've been down there a few times. Very cool, Janice. Were you at the event we did in Beaufort a couple of years ago? You must have been. That was such an amazing event in January 2020. So just a couple months before the whole world exploded with the pandemic, we had the most fabulous event down there in Beaufort. Let's see. Belgium. Hello, Tracy. Oh, Janice was in Beaufort. All right. Yeah, I don't really have anything particular to say. I will remind you all that the Keto Made Simple Masterclass that I did with Dr. Eric Westman and Adapt Your Life, we are having our 6th round 6 in April. I think it either starts, I want to say like March 28th or March 23rd or so is when it opens. And as soon as it opens and you buy it, you can start making your way through the videos. It's self-paced. But get on the wait list. I put in the notes for this video down below, I put a link for the Keto Made Simple Masterclass. So it's not available now, but you can get on the wait list. If you click on that link, you get on the wait list and you will be notified as soon as it is available for you to get into. The results people have had have been astounding. Like I said, this is round 6. We've had 5 rounds already, and each time we have about 600 people go through. So we've had a couple thousand people do it, and I am still blown away by the results that people get. It's a 3-week course, and the results that they get in such a short time. And some people are new to keto, but the vast majority of people who do that course have been doing keto on their own, floundering, they're confused, they're uncertain, they're trying a million different things, and they're not getting the results they want. And they hunker down and they follow the food list that Dr. Westman gives you in the course, and they follow the very, very simple way we do it. And all of a sudden, weight starts coming down again. People are getting off their medication, blood sugar's getting better, all the good stuff. So anyway, just check that out. This is not a commercial for the Keto Made Simple Masterclass, but we've just had a lot of really stellar successes in there, and especially from people that were really trying hard on their own, not getting anywhere. Okay, so. Oh, yeah, listen to Patricia. Thanks. Patricia says, I was part of the Keto Made Simple 5. So worthwhile. Weight is coming off and craving for sweets is gone. It's pretty good. Oh, Janice, you're the one who sent me the video on thyroid. I haven't watched it yet. I'll get to that in 1 second. Let me go in order if I can. Lisa has a question. Eating keto while having high blood pressure is good, right? Yes, the DASH diet is almost laughable in what it does for blood pressure compared to a ketogenic diet. Yes, I do think keto is fabulous for high blood pressure. Again, I'm not giving medical advice, but yes, typically blood pressure gets much, much better on keto. Sometimes it doesn't go all the way. I know some people who do keto and really strict. I mean, they're really not messing around, and the blood pressure is still a little bit high. So you can't always completely, reverse hypertension or get off your meds. But keto is certainly not only very good for hypertension, but way better than the DASH diet. Yes. And for those of you who don't know what the DASH diet is, it's dietary approaches to stop hypertension. And the results are extremely underwhelming, in my opinion. It's basically a very, very low salt diet. Anyway, yeah, so keto and thyroid. And Alex is asking, what is KMS5? I've been talking about the Keto Made Simple Masterclass. That's KMS. And 5 is just, she's saying she was in the 5th cohort that we just finished recently. And number 6 is coming up. Okay. Keto can wreck your thyroid. No, here's what, this is such a big, big, big topic. In a lot of people, weight loss, however it is achieved, whether through keto or through anything else, does lower your metabolic rate. This is a well-known phenomenon. It is called, it's called metabolic adaptation. I mean, go to PubMed, there's papers on the metabolic adaptation. As you become a smaller person, now, this doesn't seem to happen for everybody, but this is a known thing. This is part of why it is so hard to keep weight off, right? Losing it is hard enough. The reason so many people regain it is partly because we stop doing the behaviors and the habits that helped us lose it. We kind of just get complacent. But the other part is that your metabolism does slow down in some cases. And there's a lot of debate as to what to do with this. On ketogenic diets and low-carb diets, that metabolic slowdown appears to be less than it is if you were to lose the weight through crash dieting or calorie restriction or some other, low-fat, some other approach. Keto does seem to help lessen that adaptation effect. But does it ruin your thyroid? No. I think what ruins your thyroid is not consuming enough food, which a lot of women do on keto. They just don't eat enough, flat out. That's what ruins your thyroid. What ruins your thyroid is too much exercise with not enough rest and replenishment. Does a ketogenic diet by itself ruin your thyroid? No. I think going about things in a harmful, unintelligent way can affect thyroid health. But I also think there's I'm writing, for those of you who don't know, I'm writing a book about thyroid right now. I wish it was already out. It's going to be a few more months, I think. But what was I saying? When it comes to thyroid, there is a great deal of debate and contentiousness around the normal ranges for anything. And again, not medical advice here, but when it comes to thyroid, in my opinion, how you feel matters way more than the lab numbers, than your test results, because you could be out of the range of something, but you feel perfectly well. If you feel perfectly well, who cares if blah blah number is low or high? What matters is how you feel. And now, of course, work with your doctor, to find the stuff out. But Stephen Finney wrote an article about, like, does your thyroid need dietary carbohydrate? Because some people on low carb diets, coffee break. Some people on low carb diets will find that their T3 is lower, and T3 is the most active, most powerful thyroid hormone. But they're completely asymptomatic, meaning they have no symptoms of low thyroid. They don't have the hair loss, the depression, the constipation, the fatigue, the apathy, the whatever else, the weird nail problems, the loss of the eyebrows, they feel great. So if they feel great, then maybe a lower T3 is normal for them. I'm going to stop. I get really worked up about this. I just think keep an eye on yourself, monitor your labs if you want to every 6 months, but most of all, pay attention to how you feel. I do think people run into thyroid problems on keto, but I think they run into thyroid problems on a lot of other weight loss strategies too. And it's not necessarily keto, it's how they're going about it. A lot of women simply just don't eat enough freaking food. Okay. Oh, I've said my, and I have blog posts about this. I guess I could link to them, but if you go to my blog and like search for thyroid stuff. Is Acacia powder okay on keto? So the answer to any question I ever get is, can I have blank? Can I have blank on keto? Is blank okay? I don't know. Is it working for you? If you're consuming it on a regular basis and you are happy with how you feel and look, and you're happy with how things are going, then keep doing it. If you're not happy, if you're stuck, if you feel like you're not getting anywhere, maybe take it out for a month and see what happens. I mean, acacia gum, acacia powder, I assume the quantities you're using are minuscule. And if that's the case, it's probably fine. Like you're not going to be eating cups of acacia powder, right? Same thing with the green smoothie. Is a green smoothie okay and raw honey? I don't know. Why are you drinking a green smoothie? Like where was that? Who told you to do that? If you enjoy it and you think it's benefiting you in some way, it's fine as long as those green vegetables are low in carbs. Like if you're on a ketogenic diet, is what you're putting into your smoothie helping you remain in a ketogenic state or in a very low insulin, lower blood sugar state? That's the question. Not is it okay, but is it working for you? You don't need my permission to eat or drink anything. The raw honey, again, how much are you using? If you're using a quarter cup, probably not so great. 1 tablespoon may be fine for you, maybe not. I don't know. Susan Roach is asking about the colonoscopy. Susan, they have a sugar-free preparation solution they can give you. They have one that's loaded with crap and they have one that's sugar-free. Just ask for the sugar-free one. Wait a minute. Patricia says keto and psoriasis. There's no special foods you need to eat. Just do keto, but make sure that you're doing a real ketogenic diet and not some bullcrap, weird internet version where somebody's telling you to eat 10 cups of vegetables a day. I'm going to post a link for you in the chat about I did a very long blog post on insulin and skin issues. And I think I only mentioned psoriasis briefly in it, but pretty much everything I say in there will apply probably to your psoriasis. So there's really no do's and don'ts. There's just stay keto. Keep that blood sugar low, keep the insulin low. However, you might have to there might be individual foods that you are sensitive to that are causing a flare up or that are causing the psoriasis. So that you would have to just do some detective work on your own and figure out maybe, is there a particular food that your body is having a reaction to? Let's see. Well, now that there's like 40 people watching, I'll just say hello again. This is, morning time. That's why I look a little groggy. I'm still having my coffee. And for those of you that just joined, I'm using my I Can and I Will mug from my friend Casey Durango. She's Go Keto with Casey. Check out her YouTube channel. She's got a lot of good stuff. Jim started watching my outlier video. That worries me because that video should not be public yet. That video was not due to be published yet, unless it went live today. Let me see. Is that video up today? It's not supposed to be. Oh, it is. I think I published that by mistake. Oh, shoot. Well, damn, I wouldn't have done a live stream on the same day I just published a video. Good God. Thanks for letting me know, Jim. I think I goofed on that. I didn't plan to publish that today. That's what happens when I don't have a staff. I don't have like a social media staff that schedules all my stuff for me. It's just me. So I guess I screwed that one up. Mary says she's on Synthroid, sugar cravings so bad starting keto. Are your sugar cravings bad since starting keto, or you're starting keto because the sugar cravings are so bad? I don't know. Yeah, Jim has confirmed what I said earlier about the blood pressure, where, there are people on keto who really, truly do everything right. And that blood pressure is just a little bit stubborn and they have to stay on a medication. Usually, because some people will start out taking 2 or 3 different drugs for hypertension. Typically, you can maybe get off 1 or 2 of them and just remain on one, and usually at a lower dose. So you'll see, like, it's definitely improved. It just might not go away completely. And I wish I knew why, that there's just some people, and I can't recommend anything for any one individual, but there's a hair on me. Like, magnesium supplementation can help, maybe potassium supplementation if you don't have a kidney problem, but I can't recommend supplements for anyone without really knowing more about their situation. But don't feel too bad about the blood pressure, because that's just one of those things that's stubborn, and I don't really know why. Does microwaving high nutrient foods like liver destroy the nutrients? Not any more than any other cooking method, I don't really think. All microwaving does is heat the water in a food, and by heating the water, it kind of heats the rest of the food. I wouldn't worry about it, frankly, unless you just want to eat all your food raw. If you have to cook food, I don't think microwaving is any more impactful on nutrients than, just any other way of heating. Oh, thank you, Chow CEO says I'm naturally beautiful. I think I'm more beautiful with makeup, but thank you so much. Southport. Good morning, Toby. I'm from Southport, North Carolina, but I live in cold northern Nevada now. I miss North Carolina. I may be leaving North Carolina at some point. No plans yet, but I'm going to miss the mild winters. It's because the summers here are bad, but they're not any worse than anywhere else. I mean, summer, unless I move to like Montana or something, summer is bad everywhere. It's hot, it's humid, it's oppressive to me. I don't like the heat. But the winters, I prefer cooler weather, but not like 20 below with a wind chill. I was stationed in Nebraska for about 1.5 years when I was in the Air Force, and I went to college in Pittsburgh. So I've spent some time in some wintry places, and I don't miss the frigidness. So we'll see where I might end up. Following Amy's advice allowed me to get off 2 high blood pressure meds after 20 years. That's great. That's great. Rachel says, should I limit my element per day? Not unless you are having a bad reaction to it. I mean, you shouldn't need like 10 packs a day, but if you enjoy it and you like the taste, or you need the sodium, that's fine. Just keep an eye on yourself. there are people who are sensitive to the sodium. If you notice that you're starting to bloat up or retain a lot of water, maybe you're having too much, but I don't think there's like, other than that, there's not really any like danger that could come to you from taking LMNT. For those of you that don't know what LMNT is, the LMNT that Rachel is asking about, I have a link to it in the notes. It's an electrolyte supplement that comes in many different flavors, and it's sodium with a little bit of magnesium and potassium, and it's delicious. You could put it in water. They have 2 chocolate flavors that you could put in coffee. Oh, it's really delicious. It's a little pricey, but it's delicious. And it was created by 3 people that I know personally, and they're all the guys from Ketogains. And well, I don't know if Rob Wolf is from Ketogains, but Rob Wolf, who's very, very famous in this community, Tyler Cartwright and Luis Villasenor. And I know all of them personally. They are high integrity, honest people. So if you're looking to support a company or buy a product from people that are not snake oil swindlers, then LMNT is the real deal. Jorge, hola, mi amigo. Mi amigo from Venezuela. Yolanda's asking about glucomana to help with sugar cravings. I am not familiar with that. I'm only familiar with glucomannan as like, I think that's in the Shirataki noodles or something. I'm not sure. I don't know about that. I'm sorry. There is something called Gymnema, which is very different from glucomannan. Gymnema is an herbal supplement that it comes in pills. I don't know how well the pills work, but you can get it in a liquid, like in a dropper. You put a drop on your tongue or whatever the bottle, however many drops the bottle says, like right on your tongue from the dropper. Let me tell you what Gymnema does. Gymnema blocks the sweet receptors on your tongue. So you put this Gymnema, wait a couple seconds for it to kick in, and then you could eat a Snickers bar or you eat some raspberries and it tastes like nothing. There's no sweetness. So it doesn't kill the cravings, but what it does is make eating sweet foods pointless, because they have no flavor, they have no taste. Why would you eat something sweet if you can't even taste that it's sweet? So it's kind of like a habitual conditioning. Maybe if you would take that a couple times a day, then like you kind of automatically stop wanting the sweets because they're just not doing anything for you anymore. So that's Gymnema. I'll spell it out for you in the chat. So Gymnema, Gymnema, or sometimes you'll see it as Gymnema sylvestri. I might be spelling it wrong, but I think that's you. You can find it at like any health food store in the herbal section, or any just get it online. Whew. Chocolate salt. Yeah, the chocolate salt in coffee is so good. I recommend most people, if you want to try that element, like depending on how big your coffee is, I wouldn't use a whole pack to start. I would maybe use like a third or half, kind of stir it, give it a taste. You might want stronger or less. And then I did notice with the chocolate salt, you do have to give it a stir every few minutes because it settles. So if you really want that kind of like salty mocha, oh, so good, you just have to stir it. Like I don't feel you have to do that with the other flavors in water. Like that, they have a raspberry, they have watermelon, orange. That you don't really have to shake up, but the chocolate, I notice you do. Can you take LMNT during fasting? Yes. 78 Cletus. I'm coming up on my 4-year ketoversary, down 105 pounds. That is amazing. Just cannot lose those last 15. Let me ask a question. You've lost 105 pounds, which is amazing. Congratulations. How much of those 15 pounds might be loose skin? You know, I know people that have lost quite a bit of weight where they might have 5 or 8 pounds worth of just loose skin at this point. So that's not fat. And there's a reason that's not going away. So you might want to look into that. Some of that might be fat, but you, if it's not fat, you're just in that very difficult situation where it is, I think it is true that those last couple of pounds can be very, very stubborn. But I also would say, and my book, The Stall Slayer, I'm looking over there because I have it over there. Make sure that your goal weight is realistic. Like, Do you have to lose 15 more pounds, or would you be perfectly content if you never lost those extra 15? If you just stayed where you were, would that be okay? Like, how is your life going to be different? What do you think is going to happen for you 15 pounds from now that isn't happening now? And that's not like a judgment. That's an honest question for you to ask yourself. Why are you still trying to lose 15 more? I'm not telling you not to try to lose 15 more, but just, think about that for yourself. Like, why, if you want to lose 15 more pounds, so clearly you have a very specific number, you have a goal weight in mind. And I just wonder where you got that particular number from. Because there's, I did a video a long time ago on why you shouldn't have a goal weight. And it's because you could get to your goal weight and still be miserable, still hate yourself, still be unhappy with how you look and feel. Or you could not get to the goal weight. You could be 15 pounds heavier, 5 or 10 pounds heavier, and love your body, love your life, love the way you look and feel. So these numbers are kind of totally arbitrary. And let me see if I'll put a link to the video I did on the goal weight. I can't believe I'm doing a live stream on a day I published a video. I gotta check myself a little more. Wait, I'm just getting the link for that goal weight video. Why you should not. Okay, I'm putting it in the chat. There's the video on not having a goal weight. Okay, now we have some questions. Sean Griffith says, because I was talking about the gymnema, that eating sweet things will still fix the craving, even if you can't taste it, because it will make blood sugar rise. Yeah, it will make blood sugar rise. But I think in most people on a low carb or ketogenic diet, I don't think sweet cravings happen because blood sugar is low. I think it's happening for a lot of other reasons. Now, sometimes it might be because of low blood sugar, but I think that's probably one of the rarer reasons people crave sugar when they're well adjusted to a low carb or ketogenic diet. Oh, now there's noise. Oh, there's like a carpet cleaner thing outside my apartment. I hope the camera's not picking up that whirring sound. I have misophonia. For those of you that don't know what misophonia is, it's like a inordinate, extraordinary sensitivity to certain sounds. Not all sounds, very particular, like trigger sounds. And that's one of them. Like that just whirring motor type sound. It's like almost excruciating, but it helps that I have something else to focus on. Any thoughts on beef isolate protein versus whey? Not really. The whey might be more insulinogenic, but not to the extent that you need to worry about it. Like when I say insulinogenic, that doesn't mean that whey is bad for you or that it's going to like spike your insulin. I would use whichever you prefer. Frankly, I would use whichever you prefer. Dwight is asking, oh, Chow says you can't hear the noise. Thank you. Thank you for saying. How can I lower my large dawn effect blood sugar rise? I have insulin resistance, 114 at bedtime, 151 a.m. fasting. So Dwight is talking about the blood sugar levels of, and this, for those of you outside the US, of course, this is milligrams per deciliter. I don't know what this is for you in molar units, but so a couple of things about the dawn effect. It will probably start to get, I don't know how long you've been doing a low carb or keto diet or what version of low carb or keto you're doing, but that will probably start to get better on its own over time. So eventually that's going to get a little better anyway. Some people who are perfectly healthy have the dawn effect. So it's not like, this isn't something you need to like really worry about or be freaked out about. 150 is a little high fasting, even for dawn phenomenon, but like honestly, what you could do, and I don't think you have to do this, but if it would make you feel more comfortable to see that number going down, you could even like when you wake up or after you use the restroom, brush your teeth, whatever, do like 20 jumping jacks or do some jogging in place, some toe touches, do some movement to give that glucose somewhere to go. Give your muscle cells a reason to take that glucose in from the bloodstream, and you'll see the blood sugar go down a few minutes later. If you want to. I don't think you need to, but that would do it. Loose skin. Oh, so thank you for clarifying about the weight, 78 Cletus. Yeah, and I didn't mean to sound harsh because I didn't know like what your weight was if you're still trying to lose weight, but I just think there's a lot of people that get really fixated on a goal weight when they can't even really explain to you why they chose that number. Maybe that was what they weighed on their wedding day. Well, okay, that was 40 years ago and 3 kids ago, you know, or like, well, that's what I weighed in high school. Okay, well, you're 64 now, so good luck with that. You know, like, not that it's impossible for you to weigh what you weighed 40 years earlier, but I just I think having a specific number that we aim for can be problematic for a lot of reasons. Vicky, I'm glad something I said was helpful. Yeah. Shaw is asking, can we eat cottage cheese or some hard cheese? Cheese is fine on keto. Hard cheese is fine. Cottage cheese should be fine. Just read the label. Most of them are high in protein, and some of them have more carbs than others, but cheese is fine. Oh, Yolanda has an interesting comment. She's talking about the LMNT. So for those of you that joined later who missed a few minutes ago, LMNT is an electrolyte supplement that comes in a bunch of different flavors. And she says, LMNT chocolate salt has helped me eliminate heavy cream from my coffee. I was in a stall, but this has helped me lose 4 pounds in 1 week. So that's really interesting because you lost 4 pounds eating more sodium. So your body clearly is not sodium sensitive in that you do not retain water when you use more salt, which just goes to show that some of us can consume a lot of salt and it doesn't do anything for fluid retention. And I do use cream and sweetener in my coffee. Of all the things I'd be willing to give up in my diet, sweetener and cream are like almost last. I'd be willing to say goodbye to a lot of other things first. But if I've always said, if I had to choose one or the other, if I had to take my coffee with only one sweetener or cream, it would be the cream. I could do without the sweet, but I gotta have the light creamy in it. That's all there is to it. Oh, good, Lynn. Yeah, the last few pounds. Lynn says she's been struggling with the last few pounds for some time, and I'm coming to realize that my body is where it wants to be. I am healthy and feel good. This is an important point. And I think I talk about that in my book, The Stall Slayer. I'm going to put a link to that because I think some of you are new and don't really know. I wrote a book specifically dedicated to breaking stalls on low carb and keto diets. So it's there in the chat now. Yeah, I think keto, somebody else, not me, somebody else once said, keto can get you as lean as you can be, but that might not be as lean as you want to be. Meaning, keto will take you this far. If you want to go this far, you might have to do something else to get you that last little way. What that else might be, any number of things, but keto, you know, a lot of us are or will be perfectly healthy and well in a body that's 5 or 10 or 15 pounds heavier than we wish it were. You know, and losing those extra pounds is not going to do anything to improve our health. It might just make us feel better about our appearance or how we look. And that's fine. That's a totally perfectly legitimate reason to keep losing more weight. But don't confuse the two. Don't confuse aesthetics and vanity with better health. And vanity is not a bad thing. I mean, that has kind of a negative connotation. I just mean you're doing it solely because you want to look a certain way. It has nothing to do with how you feel or how, you know, with your health. Okay, let's see. Yeah, Debbie's talking about the non-scale victories. Yeah, weight is not the only, definitely not. Keto is like You can reverse your PCOS, get rid of non-alcoholic fatty liver, get rid of migraines, get rid of acid reflux. Your skin can clear up, better mood, no joint pain, all this stuff. Oh, by the way, you might also drop a couple of pounds in the process. Let's see. Oh my gosh, Sarah's down 125 pounds. This is incredible. I mean, you don't really hear this in the calorie counting world, or like a lot of other ways of eating. You do not see the kinds of success that we see in low carb and keto. And I'm not saying that no other approach works. We know they do, but just the kind of results that people get from low carb, it's just astounding. Oh, Nancy, thank you so much. Love your videos. Share your YouTube channel. Thank you. Anna's bringing up the point of net carbs versus total carbs. So there's a chapter on that in the Stall Slayer, and that's something big in our Keto Made Simple Masterclass. Let me put a link to that masterclass again, because I put it up pretty early, and I'll talk about that masterclass in a second. But yeah, for some people, net carbs works totally fine. And for those of you who don't know, net carbs is, if you look at a food label, it's the total carbohydrate minus the grams from fiber or sugar alcohols. Now, if you are in certain parts of Europe, and I'm not sure about Asia, Latin America, Africa, I'm not sure, certain parts of Europe, the food labels are different, and they already subtract that stuff from the carbohydrate. So it's a little different if you're outside the US. In the US, net carbs is the total carbs minus the fiber and sugar alcohols. And some low carb or keto programs will tell you that it's okay to count net carbs. And what that does is it gives you a lot more flexibility to eat particular kinds of food or larger quantities. Like broccoli has fiber, so if you subtract the fiber from broccoli or almonds or spinach or some of these like keto ice creams and keto granolas, you're subtracting the erythritol and the maltitol, all the sugar alcohols. It gives you more wiggle room to eat certain foods because they're lower in carbs if you're only counting the net carbs. And that works perfectly well for some people. It is a disaster for other people. And these people are doing keto and wondering why it's not working. And when they switch from net carbs to total carbs, not subtracting the fiber and sugar alcohols, then things start moving. That's one of the big differences in our Keto Made Simple Masterclass, which is based on Dr. Westman's famous page 4 food list. So he counts total carbs, and it's very strict. I ain't gonna lie, it's strict, but it works. It works. So yeah, that can make a big difference, Anna, going to the total carbs. Nathan was going to ask what AMA stands for. Since you're saying you were going to be a smart arse, I'll assume you know what it means. But for those who don't, it's Ask Me Anything, AMA. It's not the American Medical Association. Not here, anyway. Romina says, have you ever tried increasing your carbs, and how do you feel? If so, I went from 20 grams to 35 grams and feel a bit bloated. So that probably depends on where you're increasing the carbs from. If you're eating more Brussels sprouts, more cabbage, yeah, you're going to be more bloated. So it just depends. You might feel best at 20 grams. And so you might want to do that most of the time, and every now and then have a higher carb day, knowing that the consequence of that will be that you'll be bloated for a day or so. And that's fine. So that's a personal decision for you. I mean, like I've always said, not everybody needs a ketogenic diet. There's, people are eating 100 grams, 200 grams, and they're healthy, they're lean, they're fit, they're doing great. Some of us do need to be ultra strict. So I would say if you're bloated, I wonder where those extra carbs are coming from. It might not be the carbohydrate per se, but the particular food you're getting it from. Like if it's those sugar alcohols are notorious for causing bloating and gas, those cruciferous vegetables, but that might be a trade-off you're willing to make. to eat some of those foods. And that's a perfectly fine decision. That's an entirely individual thing. You decide what you want to do for yourself. Thomas or Tomas, it is not necessary to use olive oil. You can use whatever fat you like. If you want to use exclusively animal fats, that's fine. You do not need to use, there's nothing magical about olive oil that makes keto work better, or it's fine to use only animal fats. Oh, thank you, Gal Pal, for recommending my books all the time. I appreciate that. Roger. Killer results. Fatty liver, November 2019. Weight 330. Now weight 200. No more fatty liver. Toast to Roger. That's amazing. And isn't it nice to know that you could radically improve your health? I mean, forget the weight, but the weight is amazing too. But the weight and radically improve your health by eating delicious food. That's the thing for me about keto. You don't have to starve yourself. We're not living on rice cakes and bean sprouts here. You know, I do think some people have to be a little stricter. Like, we can't just eat all the cheese we might want to. Somebody has already mentioned in the chat, we got to be careful with the heavy cream, maybe. So like, we can't, it's not an unlimited, ribeye buffet, but the fact that you can get such good results and not have to starve yourself and not have to be running on a treadmill 6 hours a day. This is just, because I couldn't do that. Life is short, food is delicious, and amen. I need to put that on a mug. Life is short and food is delicious. Amen. Ilya says, where can I buy cheap Cognac or Shirataki noodles? So I don't know about cheap, but in the US, at least, almost every supermarket has them. They're usually in the produce section because they have to be refrigerated. So you usually actually find them somewhere among the vegetables. I would look now, but I think you can definitely get them online too. I'm sure you could get Shirataki noodles online, and they're probably cheaper if you buy them online. I might end soon. Let me see if there's anything else I want to tell you. Check out the Keto Made Simple Masterclass. There's a link there. I am writing a thyroid book, and my manuscript was done. It was finished. I was ready to give it to my designer, but I'm ending up teaming up with a PhD nurse practitioner whose published papers I cited in the manuscript. We connected, and she's basically going to add some stuff to the book. She's going to add a lot of her clinical expertise and more gear a couple of sections toward medical professionals, because my entire book was really geared toward lay people to give you all the information I think you need, or that I would want you to have if you have a thyroid issue. And so she's going to add to it, and it's going to take longer to get the book out, but I know that the book will be better for it. So that's like, again, there's always an opportunity cost. There's trade-offs. It's going to take longer before the book is published, but it'll be a stronger book. So I'm willing to just deal with the time. Reversed gout. Awesome. Francis says, thank you. I'm one smart keto cookie. I reversed my gout, including dissolving crystals. My thoughts on protein and kidney function. I'm going to put a link to a blog post that you're going to love on this exact topic. Everything you could possibly want to know about protein and kidney function. This blog post is going to blow your mind. It's very long, but I encourage you to take your time and read it. It's going to blow your mind. That link that I just posted, that's protein and kidney. Bottom line, you don't need a low, like a high protein intakes do not harm kidney function. Bottom line. Whoo, Romina, what's my opinion on peanut butter? My opinion on peanut butter, or any other nut butter for that matter, although there's something very specific about peanut butter that makes it a binge food or trigger food for so many people, whereas they won't necessarily binge on almond butter or cashew butter or other nut and seed butters. Something about peanut butter, even the unsweetened kind, the kind that's just natural, the peanuts or peanuts and salt. The answer is, if you can eat it and still get the results you want, then you can eat it and still get the results you want. Many people find it is a binge food, a trigger food, and we can't have it, myself included. I have been, and I have to use the word abstinent because I was full on, I was polishing off half a jar of peanut butter almost every night. It was a disaster. It was, let's not talk about it. The point is, yeah, peanut butter can definitely stall you if you're eating too much of it. If you are the rare person who can just have a spoonful or two, or in whatever reasonable quantity fits into your diet such that you're happy with how things are going, then it's fine. But if you know that one spoonful leads to 10 spoonfuls, probably not the best idea for you. Oh, Andy, thank you so much. Really appreciate that nice comment. And I'm holding off on the LDL question. Let me get to that last. Laura says, any changes that a woman should make as she approaches menopause diet-wise? Yeah. Buy yourself a Y chromosome and turn into a man, because that's going to make it all much easier. And like, I'm only half kidding. No, here's the thing with menopause, and I'm 43, so this is like headed my way. Some women sail right through, no problem, no issues. Some women, it's a disaster, even if they're healthy, even if they're already doing a low carb diet and they're, active and whatever. I think that's something you have to tailor as you go. I don't think you don't need to do anything like preemptively. I just, if you're not already doing a good low carb diet with lots of, don't skimp on the protein. I do find now, is it possible to lose a ton of weight or be in your best health during or after menopause? Yes, because women do it all the time. We have people in the Keto Made Simple Masterclass that are in their 60s and 70s who are dropping weight like crazy. So, but for others, it's a struggle. What we do tend to see in the postmenopausal women is that you cannot be as generous with the fat. So a lot more protein and less on the cheese, butter, cream, all that stuff. So that's pretty much the only thing. And you might need hormone replacement. And I can't, like, that's a very controversial topic. I don't really know enough about it, but I wouldn't worry about doing anything ahead of time. Just see how you go. I'm gonna have to do the same thing, I guess. Miss Cindy, I do mostly carnivore, 9 months or more, and slowing the scales, I guess slowly the scales are moving. Why is my weight loss so slow? Miss Cindy, I cannot comment at all on your weight loss without knowing your age, your height, your and your current weight. Are you trying to lose 2 pounds? Or are you trying to lose 200 pounds? Where are you? How far are you from, I hate but the goal weight? Like, are you on any medication? Do you have any medical problems? When people write to me for help, I send them like, answer these 10 questions and then I can comment. So if you want to tell me more about your situation, I can comment, but I can't, not knowing anything about where you are now, I don't know what might be holding things up. Okay, now the LDL, how do I even comment on this? I am not a doctor. I'm not a cardiologist. But based on my understanding of the medical literature I've seen and my understanding of the medical professionals who I do follow, the researchers, the PhDs, and the MDs, I'm not concerned about elevated LDL on a low carb or ketogenic diet. I don't think it's elevated LDL is a disease that needs to be treated, but again, I'm not a doctor. That's not medical advice. I'm going to put a link. We have a course about cholesterol that's really dynamite. I'm putting a link to it. I don't know when we're going to be doing it again, but if you want to know all the ins and outs of cholesterol, get on the wait list, because at least being on the wait list, you will get notified when we run that course again. I'm not sure when they're going to do it again, but that's, I mean, the LDL, it just, most people on a low carb or ketogenic diet see their cholesterol go down. Most people. It's only a small subset in whom it goes up, and it's an even smaller subset in whom it goes up a lot. And I think the only reason we've uncovered that there are some people in whom it goes up is because low carb and keto have become so much more popular the last, 5 years, 10 years or so, that there just weren't enough people doing it before for us to have detected that signal among the noise, so to speak, because most people actually see their cholesterol go down. But I just don't think it's a problem if it goes up. And I will say that it is well known. It's well known if during weight loss, while you are actively losing weight, your lipids are going to be a little bit wonky. And Dr. Westman recommends not even measuring cholesterol at all until you've been weight stable for a while. So if you're still in the process of losing weight, don't even test your cholesterol. Your doctor might want to test it, but whatever. Like, he just recommends not even testing if you're in that process where we know it's going to be a little wild. Kathleen's asking about iodine for thyroid issues. That is very, very controversial. I don't think it's harmful to supplement with iodine, but I think I wouldn't recommend that across the board without knowing about someone's specific situation. I don't think that most thyroid problems in the developed or the industrialized world are because of frank iodine deficiency. So I don't know how much just pouring iodine into the system is going to help. It can help some people, but I can't recommend like across the board, I think. And there's ways to measure your iodine. I don't know how accurate they are. There's like iodine loading tests that you can actually see, am I deficient? I know that's not a good answer. I know you want like a yes or no, but people who know even more about thyroid than I do, some of them think that everybody should be on like mega doses of iodine. Some people think nobody should ever take iodine. So I don't know. So Miss Cindy is giving me more information. 55 years old, want to lose about 80 pounds, history of cancer, open heart surgery, meds. I don't know, Miss Cindy. Sometimes weight loss is just really slow. I don't know. I would let me post my thing on thyroid. Just look at see if any of the symptoms of low thyroid ring a bell for you, because I just when weight loss is really, really stubborn, you just want to make sure that your thyroid hormones aren't out of whack. But you said your weight loss is slow. Slow weight loss means you're still losing weight. So it just might be slow. And that just might have to be the way it is. You're not going to lose 3 pounds a week every week. If you're losing at all, you're doing something right. Right? So keep that in mind too. Yeah, cholesterol is a lousy marker for heart disease. Sean says, yeah, it is, because people, oh, do you see my teddy bear in the background? He's making an appearance. Hi. I was covering him up before. Now you can see him. What was I going to say? Oh yeah, people who experience a heart attack or a stroke, or who have cardiovascular disease, however we define that, run the gamut of total and LDL cholesterol from low to high and everything in between. There's almost no correlation. You can be all over the map with cholesterol and die from a heart attack. Yeah, Andy is saying that the triglyceride to HDL ratio is a much, much better predictor of cardiovascular status. And you know what that reflects? Insulin resistance. It's not even close in terms of like these metabolic factors, the insulin, the glucose, the triglyceride and HDL, the effect of that, or not just the effect, what that is reflecting is so much more powerful in terms of cardiovascular risk than cholesterol. It's not even close. Cardiac scan. I think I've addressed everything. Yeah. All right. I'm going to end there because we're coming up on an hour. But thanks for spending the morning with me and my I Can and I Will mug from my friend Casey Durango. Go Keto with Casey. Casey and I are very much aligned. She's stricter with her diet than I am. I need to tighten things up, but she's great. CaseyDurango.com, or her YouTube channel, I think, is Go Keto with Casey. You can find it on YouTube. And we are very good friends in real life, as they say. We just say things a little differently. She is a lot more with the tough love and the like, no excuses, here's the thing. And I'm a little more like, well, let's, what can we do about this? But I need her approach sometimes. I need that smack upside my own head sometimes. And I've also heard her be very gentle and empathetic with people. So it's both. But yeah, I do love me some Casey. And that's it. Thank you so much for tuning in. Go enjoy the rest of your day or evening, wherever the time is where you live. All right. One more question from Gal Pal. The dangers of too much vitamin D3. I don't know. I think the optimal levels of vitamin D are so unknown. We have no idea what optimal is. And are we supposed to have the same blood level of vitamin D all year, every single day of the year, whether it's winter, summer? Should somebody living in the Arctic Circle have the same vitamin D blood level as someone living in the Amazon rainforest? Very, very different latitudes, different sun exposure. We have no idea. There's more we don't know about vitamin D than we do know. So that's all I can say. I wouldn't supplement with mega doses for long periods of time, little bits here and there, and then maybe check and see how you feel. But vitamin D is, there's more unknown than is known, I think. Not that you should never supplement. I take it. I just don't do like mega crazy doses for, years at a time. All right. That's it. Thanks for watching, everybody. Go enjoy the rest of your day. Where's the thing that says end? There it is. See ya.